Lamelo Ball suffered a bone fracture in his thumb area on Saturday in a game against the Clippers, and it will sideline him for the rest of the year. What does this mean for the Hornets in his future and the team's? Today I'll be talking about that. Welcome back, everybody, and quickly before we start the video, be sure to subscribe and like the video for more NBA videos like this, and comment down below letting me know what you think. So it was announced Sunday night by Woj that he has a fractured right wrist, which is going to end his season. So in this video, first I'll talk about what it means for LaMelo's future, and then about the Hornets' future. Okay, so we don't know very many details about the injury and its severity, but we at least know it's very serious because of the length of the injury, which is the whole season. And it's not an injury on a part of his body that doesn't matter either. It's his dominant hand, one of the most important parts of a body for an athlete. Luckily, LaMelo's a person who has faced lots of pressure and adversity in his life, and he has handled it all very well, so I'm sure he'll be trying his hardest to make an effective recovery. From what I can tell, it shouldn't have any major impact on his career like something like an ACL tear. I'm nobody to talk about injuries, so I'd suggest watching a video by Brian Suter, a professional MD, who provides a great scientific analysis on sports injuries. I'll leave a link in the top right hand corner and in the description. So what does this mean for the Hornets? Obviously, this is a huge blow for the team. Lamelo provided elite playmaking that nobody else on this team can replicate. From his vision to see the whole court and his ability to control the game's pace, it's something very few people can do. He's also provided a great locker room presence. You can tell the team is more confident and having more fun with Lamelo, and losing him I'm sure will be a big moral hit. Luckily, the Hornets have a pretty good replacement in the starting lineup with Devontae Graham. He can't provide the rebounding and passing that Lamelo does, but he can still provide ball handling and the shooting ability. In my other video about the Hornets, I talked about how Devontae couldn't be fully unlocked off the ball and how he was much better with the ball in his hands. So this new opportunity is good for Devontae since he'll have the ball in his hands more often. This is lucky for the Hornets because Devontae could fit pretty well into the role Lamelo had. And for the other guard, Terry Rozier, I don't think he'll be very affected by this injury. He'll likely control more of the offense simply because Devontae isn't as good of a player as Lamelo, but he won't have any major increase in touches or attention from defenses. Compare this to if they instead had someone like JJ Redick who can't do much with the ball in his hands, which would leave Terry to basically do everything, and you can see how this might have ended badly for the Hornets. But the problem now becomes for the Hornets what they can do at the backup point guard position. I presume for now they'll try to stagger the minutes so one of Rozier and Devontae is almost always on the floor. But this can't hold up forever though, and with the trade deadline coming up very soon, they might be in the market for a temporary backup. In other Hornets trade news, it has been reported something centered around Devontae Graham for Miles Turner has been circulated, and those talks are probably dead by now. For the Pacers, it's been rumored they're shopping Aaron Holiday on the trade market, but it's been said they're looking for a first-round pick, and that price seems steep for someone who will only play half a season on the team. Maybe they can find another point guard on the market or even in free agency, but the Hornets need a solution, and they need it quick. Another point I want to touch on is that I'm interested to see which of our young players will step up their game during this time with an increased role. Players like Malik Monk, Miles Bridges, and PJ Washington will be given a bigger role on offense, and whoever performs well, it could be a sign of how the future looks for the Hornets. For their playoff chances, many of my takes on this again can be seen in my other video. Since I made that video, my takes have been pretty accurate except for the Knicks and Raptors. Currently in the standings, they're sitting at the 8th seed, with the Knicks being very close in front of them, and the Bulls and Pacers being close behind. Out of the Pacers and Bulls, I'm actually more worried about the Pacers now. By the way, why am I talking so much about the Pacers in a Hornets video? Anyways, right now the Pacers and Bulls have the same record, but the Pacers have the 5th easiest schedule remaining in comparison to the Bulls, who have the 5th hardest remaining schedule. The Hornets themselves have a remaining schedule strength around the middle. So what do I think this means for their playoff chances? I'm still unsure whether or not they can make the playoffs, but I'd say I'm less confident now than before. Before the injury, I'd say it was probably like a 60% chance in my opinion that they'd made the playoffs, but now I'd say it's probably closer to something around 40%. But as a Hornets fan, what do I want? I honestly would rather them make the playoffs to give the team more national exposure. As for the draft and offseason aspect, I'm pretty confident in the front office's ability drafting around the middle of the draft, with our last two mid-first round picks turning into Miles Bridges and PJ Washington, which are good pickups. So this injury will definitely affect the Hornets. Of course, I hope Lamelo Ball makes a quick and easy recovery, and this doesn't affect the team too much. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. But thank you guys for watching. I made this video in one day on my school laptop, which is pretty hard, so if you could leave a like, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe for more NBA videos like this, and I'll see you guys in my next video.